So this is my response to young Pharaoh saying Lucifer and Eve saved humanity from God. You know, a lot of Christians are up in arms about him making this video, which, you know, he's professing his belief in Luciferianism, Satanism. You feel me? I mean, Luciferian, you know, they say Satan and Lucifer are different because he's the light bearer and Satan is something else. But regardless of that, I knew this was happening because, you know, I'm just finna break some information down to y'all. I'm not finna make this video too long. I'm not trying to extend it to a certain point. I'm just gonna talk about this information and move on. So, as you do research, young Pharaoh is a person that does research. He does the pseudo stuff to pull people in because he knows that it's forms of escapism that, you know, black people are looking for, melanated beings are looking for escapism. But he also hit you with some real shit now and then mixed in with some BS. So when he's talking about Lucifer, he understands that. I mean, he should understand that, you know, the Christian belief system, just like the I forgot how to say the shit. The tetragrammat, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, bro. The tetragrammatins, whatever that shit is, bro. It's in the Bible. It's translated as Yahweh. You feel me? The symbol that they use, the Hebrew letters, are in actuality a symbol. You feel me? They're telling you that God is really like sacred geometry, basically, or just with the L thing. You feel me? Emmanuel and all of that. Elohim. You feel me? Elohim meaning multiple gods. Hebrew plural. There's more than one God. Now you can't dispute that. So, and also I want to mention something else as well. All of the Christians that claim the New Age stuff. Well, what is God talking about? Y'all, you know, Christians say that, you know, the New Age stuff is like basically not in the Bible and it's devilish and it's occultism. But guess what, bro? So when God talks about I created the light and I created the darkness, I created good and I created evil. That's basically duality. The yin and the yang is in the Bible, but it's just it's not even coded. But I just wanted to say this, man. This whole young Pharaoh thing, man. Dude is. I noticed it when he got, you know, the hexagon tatted on his right arm or something, on his right shoulder. I was like, damn, dude, really? He really out there, you feel me? I seen that like almost 2 months ago. I wasn't going to say nothing on that. I was just going to let him progress. But, you know, it comes to a point in time to where you realize that this is a virtual reality system. You feel me? This is a simulation. Earth is a simulation. But yet the energy that you're tapping into is Saturn's system. And you can manifest good from that system. So you become conflicted after doing research and, you know, understanding that that's what everybody is worshiping or trying to tap into is Saturn's energy. Or just like, you know, we have it within us. That we are gods. But yet our energy comes from Saturn, a.k.a. Satan. AKA Lucifer, Set Anubis, you feel me? Knowing that it's conflicting, like, damn, do I really want to tap into that energy? Do I really want to manifest with that? And also, a lot of people that don't understand there's two forms of magic. You got regular magic, of course, and you got black magic. Black magic is things like, you know, harming people, influencing people in negative ways to keep them dumbed down. That's what the elite are doing, using forces against the people that don't know. So, I started putting things together at a young age. Like, I remember doing research on, you know, I've heard of, you know, doing history, you know, doing research on history, hearing about, you know, hearing about Sumeria and people claiming it to be, you know, the oldest civilization on Earth with the oldest written language and all of these things, right? So, once I started doing real research on Sumeria, I was looking deep for research. This was at least 2011. Then I ran across an article from 2003 that said, museums invaded as Iraq invasion happens. So that clicked in my mind like, wait, hold up. I started, hold up, the hell, hold up. So I started reading, you know, the article. And what I noticed was, it was you know, stealing all the cuneiform tablet texts, all of the ancient information. But what you realize about Iraq as I grew older and, you know, just started realizing what this world was really about, Iraq had no central banking system, no Federal Reserve, no Rothschild influence in its country. And Saddam Hussein was not allowing them to come in there. So, of course, they, you know, they killed him, fucked up. They killed him, and people call people dictators for keeping people away from these. Like, it's crazy, man. People call these dictators for keeping them out of having central banking system and American and Israel influence or Jesuit influence in their country. They call them dictators, bro, and be like, we need to take them down. So after they take him down, they put a pawn in place, and then at the same day that America had announced for the invasion, they invaded Iraq. The same day, a bomb was hit somewhere close to the museum, and it drew the guards that were protecting the museum away from it. So guess what would happen? You would send U.S. Army people in there, U.S. Army troops, and they would take all of the important cuneiform tablet texts that have not been seen, because Saddam Hussein was guarding it. Also, the ziggurat is in the same area, so ancient Babylon is modern day Iraq. Sumeria is Iraq. You feel me? So that's where all of those ancient cuneiform tablet texts were. They have that. Just like with Ramses II and Kemet. When he fell, immediate invasion. Because just like with the Nazi regime, of just like Nazi Germany, the symbols that they were using magic, bro. They needed that. They were like, why are they doing this? They have to find out what type of magic you're using. The whole world is using magic. The elite are using magic, bro. Subliminal programming, manifest destiny tuning, predictive programming, all of it. Subconscious mind control, all of it. They need your energy. They need to find out what you know. And as you go back further in history, you find out that your people were using it. And once y'all fail, for whatever reason that y'all fail, maybe the magic turned on y'all, maybe the forces that y'all were using turned on y'all, because that does happen. Of that place in Russia, of the Soviet Union, they were practicing magic. Just like Nazi Germany, Soviet Union was doing the same thing. Chernobyl, the nuclear, plant reaction. Chernobyl is the Russian version. The name Chernobyl comes from abracadabra. And it was placed, the location of Chernobyl is actually an old occult witch park where they used to do magic, you feel me? Witchcraft and things like that. Then let me go back even further and show y'all something. During the Christian Crusades, the Knights of the Golden Circle, the Knights Templar, Knights of Malta, you feel me? Your old baby Freemasons, which are baby Kabbalists, which are just practitioners of the craft. By craft, they mean witchcraft, bro. Or just magic. They were practicing that openly, and what the Christians were doing, or just like the papacy, the Vatican, and all of those individuals, they were doing that in private. They do magic in private, but outside of it, they need a fictitious character for the masses to see, to dumb them down. After a while, they realized how powerful this magic was and how it's factual, and they want the people to be away from it, as disconnected from it as possible. You feel me? They want them to be as disconnected from it as possible. A lot of y'all fear this, but now don't even understand what's really going on. The elite are using magic. There's good and bad magic. It's on you, though. You better understand this before you even think about even trying the simplest of things. You better know this. You feel me? So, with all of this going on, they didn't want them to find out, the fucking Knights Templar individuals in Rome at that time were openly worshiping, or just casting spells or just things like that. Look, bro, this whole world, Comcast, my nigga, Direct TV, bro. What are they telling you? Verizon. What are they telling you? Cast, Direct. You feel me? They telling you, bro. Your words, you got spells, spelling words. You got curse words, bro. Writing in cursive, you writing curses. Alphabet, alpha. You feel me? Just pay attention, man. It's crazy, though, But for people that don't understand this fucking world, like seeing the symbolism of just like the flower of life everywhere, understanding that Sprite, etymology behind the word is spirit, and they also have duality on there with the lime and the lemon. showing you duality. You know, the logos that they use, everything plays a part in this. So I'm saying all of that to let y'all in on something. Like, history has shown that, you know, they invaded you know, the Soviet Union, and after they fell, after the Soviet Union fell, they invaded the country, Russia, and, you know, took all of, you know, their information as well, because they were working on some deep things. Just like with Nazi Germany, same thing. Just like with Kemet, same thing. Iraq invasion, same thing. They invade to see what you really have, because they want to understand, like, how did you get this, you know, what are y'all really doing? How deep are y'all into this knowledge? They're scared. They're shook of you individuals, you melanated beings, actually working with these things. You feel me? And understanding that they tap into your energy. Like, you know, it takes a certain type of individual to get there. So that's why it's so hard on the black man and black woman in America. I always say this. What white communities have been bombed? If y'all get a community together, they don't really fear it. You know, they are destructing y'all. You know, the Jewish individuals are destroying. They have destroyed y'all culture in America, just like they destroyed black culture. But what they've done is, like, they're targeting melanated individuals even harder because of the fear of us coming back into power. Understanding voodoo. Voodoo is the same thing, but it's done in a different way. The deities that you see are just different names for the same gods, just different names, bro. Same worshiping of things. Like, I've done my research on the Dogon, you know what I'm saying, and what they worship. I run across things that I put together without even having to do extreme research on things, because of just what the ancient, you know, the ancient information that you do have confirmation for. It immediately puts something into perspective. The symbols that the Dogon were drawing, the symbols that they were naming the planets, and, you know, just things like that. It all plays a part into why this shit is moving the way it is, man. And also understanding quantum mechanics. It's not visible. You close your eyes, everything is formless. Everything is just waves. As soon as you open your eyes, they come into form. Particles, electrons. You know what I'm saying? The split theory, you feel me? The double split theory. They showing you that this world is a fucking simulation. But understanding that, you know, it's like, really, they call it hacking reality, or just, it's deep. It's deep. So, you know, for all the people that's running over there to bash young Pharaoh, I do call him young pseudo. I call him young pseudo for, like, you know, shit like 73 trillion year history of the black race, or just like mummified alien mummy babies as proof of aliens exist, shit like that. You feel me? Things like that. That's why I call him young pseudo. Niggas talking about all this other shit. Oh, you talk about reptilians too. I know I do. But context is important. So there you have it. But yeah, overall, you know, it's just clear. It's clear to me that a lot of individuals understand this, but they scared to actually say it, like, because, you know, they know that a lot of people aren't well versed in research. They're scared. They're scared of leaving or just actually doing real research, bro. A lot of individuals follow my channel who still believe in Christianity, bro. Believe in it heavily, because there's levels to research. You can research everything and know everything about, you know, just your religion, but there comes a point in time about it being false, right? There comes a point in time in which you have to accept it. Once you accept that it's false, then you become truly awakened and can do more research. But that right there, being, you know, coddled up into believing that this religion and that Yeshua, Yahweh, Jesus is coming back for you, then it's hard for you to break from that. You feel me? It's hard for you to just leave that shit alone and go on with your life, because you've been indoctrinated for so long that it just scares you to be alone without it, understanding that you are your own power. Or, you know, you're one within something. Understanding that every element on earth is inside your body. Electricity runs through your body. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, bro. So, I wasn't going to do no video today, but I wanted to talk about this. And, you know, not the biggest fan of this nigga, but he just put something out there for y'all. You feel me? He can, you know, put out daycares of scamming and all this shit, right? You know, hey, y'all falling for it, you know, then that's on y'all. But overall, I agree with it. I mean, the choice of just how he, just put it, like, I was going to bring up a verse in the Bible. Like, I got the Bible in front of me right now. Niggas don't be thinking I be reading and stuff, But there's a verse in Genesis when it says, I have it underlined in here. Hold on for a second. Usually don't do stuff like this. Okay. It's in Genesis 4:22. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. That's when they ate from the tree of life, right? The tree of knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So what is the tree of knowledge of good and evil? How did they become God? By knowing good and evil. Duality? Basically. Understanding that. They continue to eat from the tree of life. They live forever. As soon as they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, then they become gods. And he was taught that by the snake. And this is I'm stuttering looking at. I'm gonna read it one more time. Bro. This is Genesis 4:2. Nah, it's Genesis 4:22. He said, then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. So they became gods. And it also says that in the Bible, somewhere in the Bible else as well. Ye are gods. You feel me? Say it again. So everybody's skipping over that shit. That's very important. So we became godlike after eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Understanding that you're immortal already. The reincarnation process already proves that you are immortal, but not in the way that you want to be. That's the tree of knowledge of life. Already eaten from there. But the tree of knowledge of good and evil is something else. To know the system. To know duality. So with that note, I'm gone. I don't really have nothing else to say. Yeah, like that. For real. Peace.